Hello! Now in today's video we will be looking at this box, and as you can see it's a box from Hyperoptic, who do my 1 gigabit broadband service. What it is, it's a new router. It's the Nokia HA-140W-B router, which replaces the one that was already installed in the house when we moved in. And basically I didn't ask for this. A few days after I'd signed up to the service, I basically just got a support message saying, because you're on one of our fastest packages, we're going to send you a new router because it has got better Wi-Fi performance in it and ideal for the speeds that you're using. So here it is. So yeah, I've never owned a Nokia router before, so I'm quite intrigued to see what it's like and if it is indeed better, especially with the Wi-Fi. I mean, I've had no real complaints about the Wi-Fi that we've got with the existing router, but if they want to give us a free upgrade, then I'm more than happy to take it. But yeah, well, let's have a little look inside this box and get to know this Nokia router, and then maybe we can do a speed test to see what kind of speed I'm getting on the Wi-Fi at the moment, right here upstairs away from the router. And then once we've set it all up, we can try it again and see if it is correct. And we'll have a little look at the user interface and things like that. So this is going to be a slightly geeky video, so I won't be offended if you don't watch it. But maybe before you go, if it doesn't interest you, just give it a like anyway. Just, you know, to boost my popularity and make me look like a very important YouTuber. Or don't, it's up to you. But make sure you're subscribed to the channel as well, because not all of my videos are this boring and geeky. So anyway, let's crack the box open and see what we've got. Okie dokie, well, it's come with some stickers that go onto the back of the modem with all the details on. So we've got a packing list, got a Hyperoptic brochure, declaration of conformity, returns label for the old router, and then look at this guy. Oh, hello. Okay, let's just check the rest of the box and then we'll get back to this guy. So in the rest of the box we've got these 2 LAN cables, and they're actually Cat 5. I would have thought for a speedy service it'd actually send you Cat 6 cables. That's interesting. And then we have the power adapter, and look, that's really weird as well. It's got like a sort of plasticky bit and then a metal tip. Very strange. For real nerds, this is power supply. It's 12 volts out to 2.5 amps. There you go. So here is the router with its nice Hyperoptic branding on. And it seems to have this stand on the bottom so you can stand it up like so. And also wall mounts on the back. I wonder and hope that these screws are at the same distance for the wall mount of my existing router. Although, hang on, I don't know how it can mount on the wall with the connections behind it like that. Or maybe it connects to the wall, maybe it sits on the wall at a bit of an angle maybe. But yeah, you've got all these connections at the bottom. So yeah, we'll have to suss that one out. Let's just measure the gap between the holes, as I've got a tape measure here. It's about 12.5 centimeters or 5 inches. Okay, well, it's got the it's got the admin password and also the Wi-Fi details as well. Actually, you can see those. I'm going to change it all anyway. And what do we have on the back? So we've got a telephone socket. So that's for the voice over IP service, which I don't use. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 LAN connections, which is the same as the other one. We've got the WAN connection, which is what the router plugs into and then goes into the Hyperoptic box that's on the wall where the fibre goes into. We've got 2 USB connections, so I assume you can plug printers and drives into this and share files. We've got a power input there, got an on-off switch here, and then we've got a button for wireless LAN, LED, WPS and reset. So I'm assuming this button turns on and off the wireless LAN. This one changes the brightness of the LEDs. and this is just for the WPS pairing. So yeah, it's a fairly nice looking router. There's no actual cutouts for the LEDs, so I imagine they just shine through the plastic. And there we go, you can see all the lights on the front there, basically marrying up with all the ports on the back. So yeah, it's quite a alright little router, but does it actually make my connection any faster? Well, what we'll do, so we'll just put that there for now, and I'll do a speed test on my Wi-Fi from here, and we can see how it goes, or doesn't. There we go, let me make it so you can see my screen. Perfect, okay, so we'll just go to speed test and go. Well, there you go. I mean, my iPhone 13 Pro Max is getting a download speed of well over 300 meg, which is pretty awesome. And an upload speed, yep, it's heading in that direction as well. So there's an upload speed of 228 meg, so that is over Wi-Fi, and Wi-Fi is intrinsically slower than a wired connection. So I'm actually pretty pleased with that already. So will this Nokia make a world of difference? I'll have to wait and see. Okay, well what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this into my computer and then log into the admin interface of it and get it all set up and configured, so when I go and plug it in downstairs I don't have to fettle around in the cupboard making all the settings correct. I think that'll probably make more sense. So yeah, let's switch over to the desk and have a look at the interface. Okay, so I'm at my desk. Basically what I've done is I've taken the network cable out of my computer and then plugged in a network cable that goes between the router and my computer. So basically my computer is on the router's network. There's no internet connection because it's not plugged into my Fibre, but I can access the admin interface, which you can now see on the screen, and we can have a little look at the admin interface and get it tweaked and changed to the settings that I want it to be before I have to go downstairs and put it in my cupboard. Now, between filming the last section, I went downstairs and measured the gap for the wall fixings on the old router, and it's 0.5 centimeters shorter, which is very annoying. So I think I'm going to have to drill some holes to mount it onto the wall again, but I might save that for a different day because I'm filming this on Friday, which is one of the hottest days of the year so far. So yeah, we've got the Ethernet gateway showing on my screen, and now we need to log in. So we use the admin password that is on the sticker on the back of the router, or the one that was in the box. So let me do that. And it is a really complicated one that I've got to pay a lot of attention to because it's very secure, which it should be. But I might change it to something a little easier that I can remember. Right, okay, so it's telling me straight away that I should probably change the password. I will. No to that. Okay, so we've just logged in and we've got a brief overview of what's going on. The internet is off because it's not plugged into my cable connection. The Wi-Fi is on and the voice is off. The voice will stay off because I don't use Hyperoptic's voice service. And yeah, it's just showing one thing is connected to the network, and that is my computer called Kip's Beast. So we've got some deets there about the router, all good. So there we go, we can see the IP address of the router. Now you might remember from my original Hyperoptic video, I don't like it on the default 192.168.1.1. I like it on 192.168.0.1. So I'm going to change that. And I'm also going to change the start address and end address as well. I'm going to make it issue DHCP addresses from 50. That's fine, that's all good. So I'm going to save that. And so now I'm going to get kicked out of the router and going to have to log into the back end again. And I'm wishing that I'd asked Windows to remember the password, but never mind. Yeah, so now the router is power cycling, and I'm going to have to log out and log back in again. So let's do that now. Okay, so we're back where we were. The IP address of the router's changed, the DCHP address has all changed, and yeah, it's all good. Now let's have a look at the wireless settings. Okay, so it's quite interesting because the 5G and 4G they share the same name. So the wireless 2.4G and the wireless 5G networks have got the same names, which is helpful because at the moment it's set to be on 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, and now this has got them merged, which is great. That makes things a lot easier. So obviously you can give them different names, but I'm going to give them the same name. Let's have a look at some of the other settings. Wireless schedule. Oh, okay, so you can make the wireless turn off, so that might be something quite handy if you want to stop the children using their phones or devices after a certain time. You can kill the Wi-Fi. That is smart. What other things do we have? Okay, so in the security we've got standard things: firewall, MAC filter, IP filter, URL filter, parental controls, DMZ and ALG. And in the application tab you've got the sort of standard port forwarding, port triggering, dynamic DNS, USB details, and oh yeah, I'm going to allow the UPnP details as well. Oh, and that's interesting. And you can actually do a speed test from within the back end. I like that. Oh, it uses Ookla as well. Excellent. It does feel like a slightly more comprehensive modem than the one that I had previously. I think that was a ZTE one. I'm quite enjoying all the settings with this Nokia router, and actually I think it's laid out a bit nicer as well. Right, okay, so I'm going to change the name of the wireless networks to what I want them to be. Now that's something that interesting that I've noticed. It says total max users on both the wireless channels as 32. Can I change that easily? Invalid total max users. Oh! So can the maximum amount of things connected be 32? Yeah, must be. Okay. Hang on. So 32 is the maximum amount of devices that you can have connected to the 2.4 gigahertz band and the 5 gigahertz band. I hope that's all right. Yeah, I'm sure that'll be okay. But you can have up to, looking at this, you can have up to 8 different wireless networks, which is impressive. And I assume if each one of those can have 32 people connected to it, then yeah, that's not too much of a problem. So that is a brief overview of the admin interface of this Nokia router. So I guess what we've got to do now is go and unplug the ZTE router and get this plugged in. So I'm going to go downstairs and do that, and then we'll come back up here once it's all up and running, and we can do the speed test and see how it compared to the previous one and see if this really does give us faster Wi-Fi or it gives us the same. I hope it doesn't give us slower. That would be really, really awkward. I'm sure it'll be fine. Right, I'm gonna go downstairs into the cupboard in the boiling heat and get this plugged in. Back in a sec. Okay, well, it's in position and plugged in. The power light was flashing for a while, which was odd. Oh look, I think it's doing an update or restarting or something. Very strange. Yeah, it seems to be restarting itself. But yeah, it's sat quite nicely on the bracket that I got for my Sky Q router, so I'll stick a link to that in the description. Hopefully by the time we go upstairs this will all be sorted and working. So let's go back to the desk. Okay, well we seem to be up and running okay. Let me just go back and refresh my memory of what speeds we got before, because I can't remember. My mind is shot at the moment. So our previous download speed was 313, and our upload speed was 228. Okay, well let's make it so you can see my screen again. Right, okay, so we're on Hyperoptic, and let's go. Wow, yeah, that's faster. That is definitely faster. It's increasing. Wow, 386 down, and oh my goodness, the upload speed's even faster than before, 405. Wow, so 386, 405 this time, 313, 228 the last time. That is insane. I'm very glad we switched over the routers then. They were telling the truth. I mean, I'm not saying that I thought Hyperoptic were liars, but that is an unbelievable boost. So if you're a Hyperoptic customer and you don't have the Nokia router, then I'd probably ask for one because they supply the hardware free of charge. So yeah, Jeezy crazy, that is quick. And I imagine it's going to be even faster downstairs. So the sort of main area where we sit and Wi-Fi, that's going to be even faster. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to go downstairs and put that to the test. So you'll be able to hear me, but you won't be able to see me. Back in a mo. Okay, so I'm downstairs now, pretty much next to the router. Hopefully you should still hear me okay. Let's test again. 386.405 was our speed last time. Wow. Wow. Look at that speed. That is mental. Can you see that? Can you hear that? Holy cow, I've never seen Wi-Fi that quick before. 627 down and 618 up. If you don't have a Nokia router and you're on Hyperoptic's fast services, then do get in touch with them and ask them for a Nokia router because that is mental. Wow, okay, well, I'm pleased at how that's all gone really. It's gone really well. No hiccups, everything worked as expected. Unplugged the old one, plugged in the new one. And here we are, absolutely flying. Brilliant, cool. Well, I'm a happy bunny. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it's been a bit geeky, but I'll be back for something less geeky soon, I'm sure. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Special shout out to David. You're mad, David, but I love you, and all my other channel members. But for now, it's game over.